On the vaccine front, federal regulators are expanding booster eligibility to protect more children from COVID-19. Today, the FDA authorizing Pfizer's COVID booster shot for 12 to 15-year-olds. That makes the Michigan-made vaccine the first booster to receive emergency authorization for young teens and preteens. The Pfizer vaccine was initially approved for use in adolescents back in May. The FDA not only expanded Pfizer's emergency use authorization to include this age group, but also approved a shortened interval time between the second and third dose. For more on this, let's bring in our chief health editor, Dr. Partha Nandi. Dr. Nandi, thank you as always for joining us today. So this booster dose, is it the same amount for this age group, and how much has the time period between these doses been shortened?
Brian, yes, the booster dose, as you asked, is for the 12 to 15-year-olds is the same strength as those who are age 16 and up. That's 30 micrograms. So now everyone who's 12 and over can get boosted after they're fully vaccinated with the first two doses. And instead of waiting 6 months, people who can actually get it now at 5 months. Of course, that's assuming that the CDC's director, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, signs off on these changes later this week. Now, why did the FDA, people ask, why did the FDA shorten the interval between the second dose and then the third booster dose by a month? Well, it's based on real world data, Brian, from Israel. Over 6,300 kids aged 12 to 15 were given a booster shot 5 months after the first primary series, the first two shots. And no new safety issues were found, which is great. Plus, getting boosted provides much better protection, both against the Omicron and Delta variants. Lastly, the FDA, Brian, also approved boosters for kids who have conditions that compromise their immune system and are between the ages of 5 and 11. These kids now can get boosted 28 days after their second Pfizer dose. Why? Is because these kids' immune systems are weaker and they may not produce enough protective antibodies with just two doses.
Got it. So why should parents boost their children if the Omicron variant is milder? That seems to be a conversation going around.
That's a great question, and I heard hearing this from many of my patients. But here's what's going on, Brian. Omicron is so dangerous that we're seeing a lot of kids getting hospitalized. Get this, between December 22nd and 28th, there was a 66% increase from the week before in the number of kids admitted per day who are under 17 years of age. To me, that's very concerning. I mean, no matter how you call it mild, those kids are still getting hospitalized. And it could get worse if Omicron starts spreading through our schools. Now, I'm not saying that Omicron is more dangerous or worse for kids, but because it's so infectious, we're just seeing a huge increase in the number of kids and people that are infected in a short period of time. I'd like parents to know this as well, that kids who are vaccinated are much less likely to get severe symptoms. And on top of that, we have a new Danish study that showed that people who are booster vaccinated, right, which means they got their regular vaccine and get booster, are also less likely to spread the virus than those who are unvaccinated. And that includes the Omicron variant. So families, overall are more protected when everyone who is eligible is vaccinated and getting boosted. So I love the fact that now 12 and 15-year-olds can get boosted because it increased the number of folks that can get boosted to fight this infection.
All right, Dr. Nandi, as always, grateful for your expertise. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And if you all have a coronavirus question for the doctor, you can email him, Dr. Nandi, at askdrnandi.com, or send it to us on Facebook or Twitter.